Hi students, this is Kameshwari from Nalla Narasimha Reddy Education Society group of institutions. Today we are going to discuss a new unit, that is shear strength of soils. The contents we are discussed in this, we are going to discuss this unit, that is what is shear strength of soil and definitions, Morse Coulomb theory, and more strength theory, shear strength based on drainage conditions, and a test for shear strength. First, what is shear strength of soil? Shear strength of soil. It is the resistance offered by soil gradient shear deformation. Its value is equal to the shear stress on critical plane. In simple word, shear strength of a soil may be defined as the maximum resistance offered by shear stress before the failure. Maximum resistance offered by shear stress before the failure. And the circular plane is that plane on which resistance resultant stress has maximum angle of obliquity with the normal of that plane. What is the different test for you can know the shear strength of soils for your laboratory? You have a geotechnical engineering lab. What are the different experiments for you can know the shear strength of soil? That is one of the direct shear test, and also vane shear test, triaxial test, unconfined compression test. What is the difference between the direct shear test and vane shear test? In this direct shear test, we can apply the load horizontally, but in vane shear test, the load will be applied vertically. So the shear strength of a soil is its resistance to shear stress. It means soil resistance to deform by continuous displacement of its individual soil particles. Here soil failures occur. Soil failures occur when the stress between the particles are such that they slide or roll past each other. And also in the soil depends primarily on interactions between particles. Interaction between the particles. And shear strength is termed as it is used in soil mechanics. The shear resistance of soil is a result of friction and interlocking of particles and possibly cementation or bonding at a particular particle contacts. So interlocking of particles. So interlocking of particles means bonding between the particles means it gives the some strength to the structure. And what is cohesion? Cohesion, it consists of a some strength, but cohesionless soil, it consists of a more porous, that means more voids between the soil particles, so water can easily enter to it. That is for example cohesionless soil, sandy soil, no plasticity. But in cohesion, the attraction between the molecules of the same material, attraction of between the particles is called as a cohesion. So generally soil consists of a different materials and water is act as a dipolar, so at the positive and negative charges of between these two attractions, so like a bond, that is called also called as adsorbed water. Dry sand is cohesionless soil, that is sandy soils, sands are cohesionless soil. And addition of water in the dry and includes a little cohesion in it. When we add water in the clay, it it will use the some cohesive nature. Clayey soil has maximum cohesion and that soil depend upon the fineness of clay particles, amount of clay, water content of soil, moisture content, and the frictional resistance between the individual soil particles at their contact point is also known as internal friction. So angle means which is directly proportional to the normal stress. It refers to the frictional resistance between the soil particles which is directly proportional to the normal stress. Now, Mohr's Coulomb theory. This is very important in this unit, the derivation of Mohs Coulomb theory. What is meant by Mohs Coulomb? That a Mohs circle stress at any point strained material, there exist three mutually perpendicular planes on which only direct stresses are acting. That is, no shearing stress acting. No shearing stress acting. And it consists of a normal stress at the actinic planes are called as principal stresses. Here two stresses will be there, major principal stresses and minor principal stress. Two stresses will be there, major principal stress and also minor principal stress. Major principal stress indicated by sigma 3 and minor principal stress indicated by sigma 1, and intermediate principal is as sigma 2. Here by mistake sigma 3 is as mentioned, but this is sigma 1, sigma 3, sigma 2. Okay. Major principal stress sigma 3, minor principal stress sigma 1 and principal stress sigma 2 corresponding to design the major principal planes, minor principal strain and also intermediate principal planes. So this is the diagram for Mohs Coulomb theory, and three mutual perpendicular planes at any stress point on which no shearing stress act, which are known as principal planes. Okay, three principal planes are acting. This is the this diagrams comes from the direct shear test. So the original plane, this is here we can draw the graph by using the radius r. So by arc a d b, taking as a radius and draw the diagram. So here 0 to a, that is what is sigma 3, major principal stress, and overall O to B, that is called as sigma 1. Overall we can write OC is equal to sigma 1 plus sigma 3 by 2. Major principal stress plus minor principal stress by 2. And here some angle will be acting, that is represented as beta, and also here the angle is alpha and here the angle is 2 alpha. Here we can indicate that 2 theta also. This is Mohs circle sigma 1. Here sigma 1 overall this represented as sigma 1, that is major principal stress. Sigma 3 is equal to minor principal plane. Sigma 3 is equal to minor principal plane, and this distance here to this only distance is sigma 1 minus sigma 3 by 2. Here these two distances are same, sigma 1 minus sigma 2 by sigma 3 by 2, here and here. Okay, finally, so here the theta is equal to, here the angle theta is equal to 45 plus 5 by 2. Theta is equal to 45 plus 5 by 2. 2 theta is equal to, here 2 alpha. In cases we can write 2 phi also. So 2 phi is equal to 45 plus 5 by 2 na. So 90 plus 5. 2 theta is equal to 90 plus 5. Theta is equal to 45 plus 5 by 2. Here also diagram will be there. Overall sigma 3 major principal stress and sigma 1 minor principal stress. So the angle extended outside, that is indicated as phi. So here some cohesion value will be there, that is equal to C. Finally shear stress is equal tau is equal to C plus sigma tan phi. So here we can write this equation is equal to C plus C cot phi. This formula C cot phi plus overall sigma 1 plus sigma 3 by 2. So that equation we can substitute here. Sin phi is equal to, according to we can take the this overall triangle. You can get sin phi is equal to sigma 1 minus sigma 3 by 2 by C cot phi plus sigma 1 plus sigma 3 by 2. So finally sigma 1 is equal to sigma 3 into, so by multiplication these factors all are 1 plus sin phi by 1 minus sin phi plus 2c cos phi by 1 minus sin phi. This is the final equation. Sigma 1 is equal to sigma 3 1 plus sin phi by 1 minus sin phi plus 2c cos phi by 1 minus sin phi. And also this equation you can written as tan square 45 plus 5 by 2. In the place of 1 plus sin phi by 1 minus sin phi, you can written as tan square 45 plus 5 by 2. In the place of cos phi by 1 minus sin phi, you can written as tan 45 plus 5 by 2. That is equal to sigma 1 is equal to sigma 3 tan square 45 plus 5 by 2. So sigma 1 is equal to sigma 3 tan square 45 plus 5 by 2 and 2c tan 45 plus 5 by 2. Major principal stress and minor principal stress. This is the main basic equation for calculating the Morse Coulomb problems.